This is what we call a production possibility curve. Let's look at each of the two axes. The vertical axis is an economics grade. Let's imagine you're taking two classes, economics and history, and if you devoted all of your available study time to economics, you could get a grade of 10, something quite high. If, on the other hand, you devoted all of your time to studying history, you could get a grade of 10 in history, and that's what this point B down here means. So the two extremes are spending all of your time on history, or up here at point A, spending all of your time on economics, and in each case getting the maximum grade. There's this curve that you see highlighted here, and that curve represents all of the combinations of hours you could spend on either economics or history, various combinations of the two. What's important about this curve is that each of those combinations of time spent on the two courses gives you the best possible outcomes of those two courses. We call it a production possibility curve. It goes back to being able to produce something. In this case, the output that you're producing are grades on either economics or history. And any point along that curve means you're making best use of your time. However, as you can see, let's just take a look, for instance, at point C. Point C is on that curve, so it's one of the best combinations. And if you see its position, it means that you have quite a high score in economics. Notice it's something over a 9 here, but a pretty mediocre score in history, something on the order of a 4. So point C is much more oriented towards doing well in economics, less so in history. Point E down here is kind of the reverse. Quite a high score in history, not very good in economics. And point D is in the middle someplace. Kind of roughly, it's not quite the same as I look at it, maybe a score of 8 in economics and 7 or so in history. Still somewhere in between. Now in this graph, the other thing we want to look at are the two remaining points. Point F here means that somehow you're not making the most use out of your time, the most efficient use out of your time. So it's a combination of grades, history and economics, that is below the line and thus not optimal. It's not making good, efficient use of your time. So it's possible to be at point F, but not desirable. On the other hand, point G up here is a point that has high grades in both economics and history, but because it lies beyond the curve, it's a place you can't attain it. Your scarce resources, in this case your study time, are limited. There's only so many hours you have available to you. There's no way you can get out to G unless you somehow increase those scarce resources.